Do you ever feel like the whole world is working against you? Like everyone else was given a map or an instruction manual at birth, but you were left to figure it out blindfolded. You try your hardest. You tell yourself, this time will be different. This time I am ready. You work late, you wake up early, you pour your whole heart into your goals. You give it 100%. But nothing changes. The promotion you worked for goes to someone else who barely tries. Your relationship ends just when you finally felt safe enough to let your guard down. Your big dream, the one you've held onto for years, falls apart right before it happens. It feels like it's just happening to you, doesn't it? It feels deeply personal. It feels like an invisible rope is tied around your waist, pulling you back every time you try to take a step forward. You pull and fight against it, but the rope always feels stronger than you are. Imagine this clearly. You are at your computer late at night. The house is quiet. You are tired, your eyes hurt, but you feel a tiny spark of hope. You send that important email, apply for that job, or share your creative work. For a minute, you think, maybe this is it. Maybe my luck is turning. You go to sleep dreaming of a better future. But then, nothing. Days pass, you check your phone 100 times, no one writes back. Or worse, you get a short message that just says, no. The silence is louder than a shout. Think about when you tried to love someone. You didn't hold back. You gave them your time, your secrets, your kindness. You opened your heart completely. But it felt like trying to hold water in your hands. No matter how tight you held on, it just spilled out through your fingers, leaving you with nothing but empty, damp hands. These aren't just accidents. They aren't just a run of bad luck. They are patterns. They are things happening over and over again inside you, like a movie script you didn't write. Psychologists have a name for this specific kind of struggle. They call it learned helplessness. This happens when your brain gets used to losing. It stops expecting good things to happen. Instead, it starts getting ready to fail before you even start. It's not about what you can actually do. It's about what your brain expects to feel. It predicts pain, so it prepares for pain. To understand this, think of a dog in a cage. In a famous experiment, if the dog gets a small shock every time it tries to jump out, eventually it will stop jumping. It learns that its actions don't matter. The scary part is what happens next. Even if you open the door wide, giving the dog an easy way out, the dog will just sit there, scared and trembling. It won't move. It has learned that trying only brings pain, so it stops seeing the open door. It becomes blind to its own freedom. Science tells us that human brains work in a very similar way. Our brains are machines that look for patterns. They remember everything. Every time you get disappointed, every time you hear no, it leaves a mark on your mind. Slowly, failure stops being just an event that happened on a Tuesday. It becomes a habit. It becomes like a heavy, wet coat you wear every single day. At first, you notice the weight, but after a while, you forget you're wearing it. You just think walking is supposed to be this hard. You start to act differently without even realizing it. You say sorry constantly, even when you didn't do anything wrong, as if your existence is a bother to others. You pause when a door opens for you, waiting for it to slam shut. You make small excuses to stop yourself from succeeding. Maybe you show up late, or you don't double-check your work. Deep down, a quiet, protective voice says, "Why bother? You know you're going to fail. Let's just get the pain over with now." The sad part is, other people don't see this internal battle. They don't see the heavy coat you were wearing. They just think, wow, they aren't trying hard enough. They're lazy. But inside, you aren't lazy. You are exhausted. You feel like you are cursed, fighting a war no one else can see. But what if you aren't lazy? What if you aren't just unlucky? What if failure is something you are carrying inside you, like a heavy backpack you can't see? And if that is true, how did you get it? Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have a dark cloud over their heads while others walk in sunshine? This feeling often starts way back in the past. It goes back to when you were a little kid, just wanting to be loved and seen. When we are kids, our minds are soft, like wet clay. We are still figuring out who we are. Every word our parents say, every silence when we ask a question, and every time we scraped our knee and needed a hug but didn't get one, it shapes us. It leaves a mark in the clay that hardens over time. Imagine a kid sitting at a kitchen table doing homework late at night. They are trying so hard their hand hurts from holding the pencil. They memorize all the answers. They run to show their work to a parent they love more than anything. But instead of a smile or a "good job," they get a cold look. The parent points out one mistake and says, "This isn't good enough. Why can't you be smarter?" In that moment, the kid doesn't just feel bad about a math problem, they feel bad about themselves. They feel like they are not enough to be loved. They don't think, "I made a mistake," they think, "I am a mistake." This creates a shadow in their mind that whispers, "You are the problem." There is something called attachment theory. It says kids learn how to connect with people based on how their parents treat them. If love changes all the time, if a parent is nice one day and mean the next, or only loves you when you win, the kid gets confused. Their nervous system goes on high alert. They start to expect pain instead of safety. They learn that love is something you have to earn, and you can lose it at any second. Science shows that when a kid is criticized a lot or ignored, their brain gets flooded with stress chemicals. This teaches the brain that trying equals pain. The kid learns a harsh lesson. No matter what I do, the door won't open. No one is coming to help. So, to save energy, they stop trying to open it. They try to be perfect so no one will yell at them, but they still feel invisible. They try to be the funny one to get attention, but deep down they feel ignored. Every failure feels like proof that they don't belong in the world. The kid learns to hide their true self. And the sad thing is, this doesn't stop when you grow up. The locked doors of childhood become the locked doors of your adult life, in your job, in your marriage, and with your friends. You see the same rejection in your boss that you saw in your father. So what happens when this scared kid grows up? They go out into the world with their dreams, but they also carry this heavy, secret fear of failure. Have you noticed how good you are at hiding your feelings? By the time you are an adult, you represent an expert at pretending. You know exactly how to cover up the hurt. You put on a mask every morning. You smile when you want to cry. You laugh at jokes that aren't funny. You act like you have it all under control. On the outside, you look fine. You might even look successful. But inside, that old fear is still talking. It tells you that you're a fake and that you're going to mess up before you even begin. Imagine sitting in a meeting at work. Everyone is talking and sharing ideas. You have an idea too, but you stay quiet. You nod and agree with everyone else. Inside, your heart is racing. You think, if I talk, they will realize I'm not smart enough. They will laugh at me. You do the work, you stay late, but when someone gives you a compliment, you push it away. You feel like a fraud who is about to be caught. You act your way through life. You smile while you're sinking in quicksand. You build things, careers, homes, relationships, while secretly waiting for them to break apart. The mask is so good, sometimes you even fool yourself. But deep down, you feel it, that heavy, gnawing feeling that something is holding you back. Why does our mind hold on to failure? Why does it feel safer to stay down than to get up? It seems crazy to choose unhappiness, doesn't it? To understand this, we have to look at science. Why do you still feel sad long after the bad thing is over? Why can't you just get over it? The answer isn't that you're weak, it is that your brain has been trained. Your nervous system, the part of you that feels things, expects disappointment. It thinks disappointment is the safe default setting. In the 1960s, a scientist named Martin Seligman discovered that if animals can't escape pain, they eventually stop trying. Even when the situation changes and they can escape, they stay put. They learned they had no power, and that belief became stronger than reality. This happens to people too. When you were told over and over that you aren't good enough, your brain builds a physical path, like a hiking trail in the woods, that leads straight to giving up. When things get hard, your brain doesn't ask, "How do I solve this?" It asks, "Why try?" Because that is the path it has walked 1,000 times. Each time you fail, your brain gets stressed. The part of your brain that makes plans and solves problems goes quiet. It shuts down. The part of your brain that feels fear and reacts to danger gets louder and bigger. Failure becomes who you think you are. You stop saying, "I failed at this task," and start saying, "I am a failure." Then, your mind starts to twist things. If one person says no to a date, you feel like everyone in the world is saying no. If you make one mistake, you feel like you are completely broken. You start to predict failure to protect yourself from being surprised by it. You think, if I expect the worst, it won't hurt when it happens. But by predicting it, you often make it happen. We have to be honest. Life isn't always fair. Money, where you grew up, the color of your skin, and how people treat you, these things matter. Some people get second chances, others don't. Some people have a safety net, others hit the concrete. But here is the tricky part. When the world says no and your brain learns to stop asking, you start to believe it is your fault. You think you are the problem. You look at successful people and think they must be better than me, instead of realizing they might have had help you didn't. Then, something darker happens. Failure stops feeling like an enemy. It starts feeling like an old friend. It becomes comfortable. There comes a time when being disappointed feels normal. You start to think, this is just who I am. This is my lot in life. Failure becomes a companion. It whispers, "At least with me, you won't get your hopes up." Imagine a guy sitting in a burned-down house. It smells like smoke. The roof is gone. It's ruined and cold, but he won't leave. Why? Because he knows this house. He knows where the walls are. To him, success feels like a strange foreign palace full of risks he doesn't understand. Failure hurts, but at least he knows exactly how it hurts. He knows what to expect when he wakes up. Scientists call this the paradox of self-preservation. Your brain would rather feel the pain it knows than face the fear of the unknown. This is why we mess things up for ourselves. It's not because we're lazy, it's because we're scared. We're scared that if we get happy, we will lose it, and the fall from happiness to sadness will hurt too much, so we stay on the ground to avoid the fall. We do this in relationships too. We choose people who treat us badly because it matches how we feel about ourselves. If you feel small, you pick someone who makes you feel small. It hurts, but it feels right because it's familiar. The brain likes patterns, even bad ones. Suffering that you know is less scary than hope that you don't know. So we keep doing the same things, circling the same drain. The world makes this harder. Since we were kids, we were told a story. We were told hard work always pays off. We were told if you fail, you just didn't try hard enough. These are myths, stories that aren't always true. If you work until you are exhausted, until your bones ache, and you still fail, society says you are the problem. Think of a single mom working 2 jobs who is still broke, waking up at 4 a.m. every day. Is she lazy? No, she is working harder than anyone. Think of a student studying in the dark who can't get ahead because they can't afford a computer. Society praises toughness, but ignores that some people are running the race with weights on their ankles. This makes you blame yourself for things you couldn't control. You feel shame, and shame is poison to your brain. It makes you want to hide. It makes you want to disappear. So you keep wearing the mask. Society likes a survivor story, but it doesn't like to see the actual pain. You get a reward for pretending you were fine. You walk through life carrying a heavy weight while everyone claps for how strong you look. What happens when you carry this weight for too long? What happens when the mask cracks? You start to feel anxious all the time. You wake up with a knot in your stomach. You go to sleep replaying every mistake in your head, wondering, what if I said the wrong thing? You dread checking your phone. Depression comes like a thick fog. It makes it hard to breathe. It makes it hard to move. It tells you that trying again is pointless because you already know the ending. It hurts families. The silence at the dinner table gets heavy. You stop talking about your day because you don't want to talk about your failures. Partners drift apart because they're scared to share their true fears. You stop asking, what do I deserve? And start asking, do I deserve anything at all? You begin to shrink. Your brain actually changes. The part that remembers things gets smaller because of the stress. The part that feels fear gets bigger. The more you fail, the less you think you can do. And the less you think you can do, the more you fail. It is a downward spiral. But even when things are broken, even when the house is burned down, something stays alive. A tiny spark, a whisper of maybe. No cycle lasts forever. You can change your patterns. It is hard, it takes time, but you can do it. What if the curse of failure isn't forever? What if there is a key hidden under the mess of your past? First, you must accept a big truth. Your value doesn't come from winning. You are taught that you are only good if you succeed. That is a lie. You are valuable just because you exist. You are valuable because you are a human being. Even if you win nothing, even if you stay in bed all day, you are enough. So how do we break the cycle? You need boundaries. Think of boundaries like a fence for a garden. If you don't have a fence, people will walk all over your flowers. For too long, you let mean voices from toxic friends, critical parents, or even your own mind walk all over your garden. Building a boundary means saying no. It means saying no to the bad stuff so you can say yes to your own healing. You have to do the inner work. Writing in a journal helps you see the monster in the dark. When you write down, I feel like a failure, you take the thought out of your head and put it on paper where you can look at it. Talking to a therapist helps you see the stories you were following without realizing it. This is called shadow work. It means looking at the scary parts of yourself, your anger, your jealousy, your fear, and realizing they're just a scared kid wanting to be heard. Then focus on small wins, really small ones. Forget about climbing a mountain today. Just put on your shoes. Make a phone call you've been avoiding. Wash 3 dishes. Get out of bed and brush your teeth. Science says doing things over and over changes your brain structure. Every small act of keeping a promise to yourself proves you can change. It builds a new path in your brain, away from giving up and toward, I can do this. Healing won't make you perfect. You will still trip and fall. You will still have bad days. But the goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is dignity. Dignity means trying again without hating yourself when you stumble. It means refusing to let the past control your future. It means standing up tall even when you feel small. When you find this dignity, you realize something beautiful. The real victory wasn't running away from failure. It was learning to live without letting failure define you. It was looking at the scary dog in the cage and realizing the door is open. What if failure isn't the bad guy? What if it is like fertilizer for a garden? Dark, smelly, but full of nutrients that help new things grow. We think success brings meaning, but meaning usually grows in the dark times. It grows when you thought you couldn't keep going, but you took one more step anyway. Think of a gardener planting in hard, dry ground. Nothing grows for a long time. It looks like a waste of time. But the work of digging and watering changes the soil. It makes it rich. The harvest, when it finally comes, is wisdom. It is strength that doesn't break easily. Failure wears you down, yes, but it also gets you ready. It scrapes away the fake parts of you and leaves only what is real. It teaches you how to survive. Resilience, bouncing back, is like a muscle. You build it by standing up again and again. You can't always control what happens. You can't control the boss, the economy, or the rejection, but you can control if you stay down or get up. The real win isn't becoming rich or famous. It is walking forward even when you're scared. It is the courage to try again after you've been burned, to love again after your heart was broken, to make something again after it was destroyed. That courage is what changes you. That is what makes you a hero in your own life. Maybe failure isn't the end of your story. Maybe it is just the start of a new chapter. Maybe the ashes of your old life are not the end, but the dirt where your strength will grow. If you were brave enough to plant again, if you were brave enough to keep going, then failure is not a curse, it is a teacher. So remember this, you are not defined by what broke. You are defined by the fact that you are still here, breathing and willing to try again. That is a victory no one can take away from you.